A lot of the people we casually call stupid in everyday life don't actually have low intelligence. Many of them have average or even above average IQ. Yet they confidently repeat nonsense, refuse to accept clear facts when those facts contradict their worldview, and keep making the same mistakes over and over, all while being completely convinced they're right. So the real question isn't whether these people are stupid. The real question is, why is this kind of behavior so common that it's basically become normal? And here's the uncomfortable part. This doesn't just apply to other people. It applies to a lot of us too. Today I want to break down the harsh but evidence-based truth about what actually lies behind what we call stupidity. When we call someone stupid, we're almost never talking about clinical intellectual disability. We're usually referring to someone who confidently says ridiculous things, can't absorb obvious facts if they go against their beliefs, repeats the same errors, and never questions their own judgment. Here's an important distinction. Low intelligence and stupid behavior are not the same thing. A person with an IQ of 85 can be perfectly functional and live a normal life. At the same time, someone with an IQ of 120 can say and do things so irrational that it makes you want to bang your head against the wall. Stupidity isn't really about how much gray matter someone has. It's about how they use what they have. The best explanation for why many stupid people seem so confident comes from the Dunning-Kruger effect. The core idea is simple. The less competent someone is in a particular area, the more they tend to overestimate their own abilities. Someone who knows almost nothing about a subject doesn't just make mistakes, they don't even realize how big those mistakes are. They lack the cognitive tools to accurately assess their own incompetence. That's why they often come across as stupid, not necessarily because their IQ is low, but because they have no feedback loop between their knowledge and reality. Meanwhile, people who actually know a lot about a topic tend to say things like, "I'm not sure," "It's more complicated than it looks," or "We need more data," because they can see the full complexity of the issue. This creates a strange paradox. The most confident people in the room are often the least competent, while the most competent people tend to be the most cautious in their statements. This isn't just theory, it's a well-replicated psychological effect. German theologian Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who lived during the Nazi era, made one of the harshest observations about stupidity. He argued that stupid people are more dangerous than evil people. Why? Because you can argue with an evil person. They understand logic and consequences. You can negotiate with them or at least protect yourself. But a stupid person is almost impossible to reason with. They don't hear arguments. They don't see contradictions. They defend their position not because it's correct, but because it's theirs. Any attempt to explain something to them is often perceived as a personal attack. Bonhoeffer wrote that stupidity isn't just a lack of intelligence, it's a state that people can fall into. And this state becomes much more common when people are surrounded by groups that reward and encourage stupidity. Here's the uncomfortable part for our time. Modern social media heavily rewards this kind of behavior. The more extreme, simplified, and emotionally charged your position is, the more engagement you get. Now for another harsh truth. Most genuinely stupid decisions and beliefs don't come from people with low intelligence. They come from ordinary people with average and even high intelligence. Why? Because intelligence and rationality are two different things. A smart person can skillfully defend a wrong position, come up with brilliant justifications for their mistakes, use their intelligence to protect their existing beliefs instead of seeking the truth. This is called motivated reasoning. The brain isn't working to find truth. It's working to defend whatever the person already believes. That's why someone with a high IQ can believe complete nonsense for years, simply because that nonsense protects their ego, their social group, or their self-image. Real stupidity doesn't begin when someone makes a mistake. It begins when they lose the ability to recognize that they might be wrong. Here's the most uncomfortable part of all. In the way we usually use the word, stupid people are, to a large extent, statistically normal. By definition, roughly half the population has below-average intelligence. That's not an insult, it's just math. But even among people with average and above-average intelligence, a huge number still behave in ways we would call stupid in certain areas of their lives. Why? Because they never develop the habit of questioning themselves. They don't know how to separate feelings from facts. Being right feels better than being accurate. Modern culture often rewards exactly this kind of attitude. So, in a strange way, yes, stupid people are normal. Not because low intelligence is good, but because a lack of self-reflection and intellectual honesty is far more widespread than most of us want to admit. The most dangerous person isn't the one who knows little. The most dangerous person is the one who knows quite a lot, but has lost the ability to consider that they might be wrong. In the end, it all comes down to one simple but brutal conclusion. Stupidity isn't really about how high or low someone's IQ is. Stupidity is about how willing someone is to defend their own incompetence instead of trying to overcome it. And if while watching this you thought, finally, someone's talking about other people, then you've probably already fallen into the exact trap we've been discussing.